It's likely that you filled up your car tires hundreds of times at local petrol stations or before to a road trip. However, what if I told you that a typical error that 90% of drivers make when filling up their tires may result in your tires blowing up, your TPMS sensors failing, or even your brakes locking up at high speeds? This is not hyperbole. Thousands of cars wind up in repair shops or worse each year. It's not about overinflation or underinflation because of this one lousy practice during air refills. It's something much more deadly and subtle. Watch this video to learn about the most dangerous tire filling errors that most people make, what tire engineers and professional mechanics do differently, as well as the one tire pressure system adjustment that might save your life. You won't be able to fill your tires the same way again if you know where to look for it. Number 1. The hidden danger, the hot tire trap. Let's begin with the most common error that almost all drivers make. We refer to it as the hot tire trap. When your tires are 3 to 4 psi low, you drive your car to a gas station, pull up to the air machine, inspect them, and add air until they reach the acceptable level. Let's say 35 psi, and you leave with the impression that everything is ideal even though it isn't. You are unaware that you have overinflated your tires by up to 5 or 7 psi. This is the reason. The air within your tires is hot when you examine them immediately after driving, and heated air expands. This indicates that your 35 psi value is inaccurate. You wind up driving on underinflated tires without realizing it because the pressure lowers significantly once your tires cool. A tire based on information from Bridgestone Technical Center, Europe. 5 psi is that. At highway speed, the underinflated operates at a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius and wears out 25% more quickly. That's more than simply money lost. This results in less stopping force and a higher chance of blowouts. Expert advice: when your tires are cold, always check and fill them. Ideally, after sitting for at least 3 hours or before operating a vehicle. Accurate pressure readings can only be obtained in this manner. Number 2. Trusting the gas station gauge. This is another risky one. Utilizing the built-in pressure gauge at the petrol station is easy, but most public air pump gauges are inaccurate by 2 to 6 psi, according to tire racks and customer comments. At times, even more. Even worse, they hardly ever get calibrated. This implies that even though the screen indicates perfect, your tires may be dangerously over or underinflated. Consider this. You wouldn't use a broken dipstick to fill your engine with oil, would you? For the sole component that connects your car to the road, why would you trust a worn-out gauge? This is what professional mechanics do. A digital tire pressure gauge is carried by them. A certification of plus or minus 0.5 psi is ideal. For this reason, the industry trusts accuracy companies such Milton JCO Elite Pro and Astro AI. Use your own gauge to confirm each time you add air. Don't depend on the number on the machine. You can literally rescue your tires with this $15 investment, your safety and your suspension. Number 3. Ignoring the load versus pressure rule. This is something that most drivers, including auto enthusiasts, never consider. The door jamb sticker's recommended tire pressure isn't the only thing to consider. The label is estimated for an ordinary automobile with half a load, a few passengers, and a little amount of luggage. However, if you're traveling with 4 people or towing a full trunk, the same pressure drops alarmingly. It was once properly expressed by a Michelin North America tire engineer. Your tire's flexibility is altered by every 200 pounds of additional weight, which modifies the amount of heat that accumulates inside the rubber. Thus, if you're preparing to travel, in order to keep your tires cooler, avoid sidewall and flexing, and significantly increase stability at highway speeds, you should apply 2 to 4 psi more than what the door sticker suggests. On the other hand, you might even go 1 ps. I lower for improved comfort and grip if you drive alone most of the time. There is no one-size-fits-all tire. You lose both performance and safety if you ignore that. Number 4, over-inflating for better MPG. For years, this one has been making the rounds on online discussion boards. Give your tires a pump. For improved gas mileage, 5 psi more than is advised. In theory, your rolling resistance does indeed decrease. Here's what happens if your fuel efficiency increases by 1 to 2%. The tire's contact patch contracts in the background. There is a 10-foot increase in braking distance. In a single Goodyear racing experiment, cornering grip substantially decreases and the tread center wears out twice as quickly. At 118 miles per hour, a set of all-season tires that were inflated 6 psi over the limit catastrophically collapsed. The concentration of heat in the center caused the sidewalls to physically detach from the bead. Gas and pennies could be saved by overinflation. However, if a tire breaks, it can cost you thousands of dollars in repairs and hundreds of dollars in premature tire wear. If you drive an SUV or pickup with a large weight distribution, the risk is considerably greater. When braking, the back end of certain cars may become unstable due to overinflated tires. Therefore, it is not worth jeopardizing your life or the stability of your car to chase a few MPG. Number 05. Neglecting the valve core and cap. One of the most frequent reasons for slow leaks is something you might not even be aware of. Your tire's air is sealed by a tiny spring-loaded pin called the valve core, which is located inside the stem. It may slowly leak air if it is loose or unclean. Even if your pressure gauge indicates that everything is okay, the small plastic valve cover that everyone disregards after filling is more than simply decorative. It shields the valve core from dust, water, and road salt. The core spring is corroded once those get inside, and a week later, you have uneven tire pressure on all 4 wheels as a result. 12% of all unexplained tire deflation occurrences are caused by valve core failure, according to Continental Tire engineers. Therefore, ensure that the valve cores are tight the next time you add air. A $2 valve core tool is available. Always screw on the cap afterward, ideally one that is rubber or metal sealed. It's straightforward, but expert tire retailers do just that for each and every client. Number 6, using tire shine right after filling air. This one appears innocent, which makes it cunning. After filling their tires, many automobile owners quickly apply tire shine or treatment to give them a shiny appearance. However, when sprayed to a heated tire, the majority of commercial sprays break down rubber because they include silicone solvents or petroleum distillates. Additionally, keep in mind that your tire walls are hot if you just filled them with air. Over time, this chemical reaction dries up the sidewall rubber, creating micro cracks that may eventually result in blowouts. Technicians, ammunition, NYC, and chemical personnel are examples of real detailers. It is advised to use water-based UV protecting chemicals and apply tire shine only after the tires have cooled, preferably several hours later. Instead, the structure won't be destroyed and you'll obtain the shine. Number 7. Ignoring temperature and altitude changes. Even seasoned drivers are shocked to learn that your tire pressure changes by 1 psi for every 10 degrees Fahrenheit or 5.5 degrees Celsius change in temperature. This implies that if you fill up your tires in the summer at 80 degrees Fahrenheit, it will be 40 degrees Fahrenheit the next morning. You did nothing wrong, but your pressure just decreased by 4 psi. Additionally, the change can be even more noticeable at higher elevations if you go from sea level to high altitude or dwell in a hilly environment. The relative pressure within your tire increases when atmospheric pressure drops. Thus, a 35-pound tire. In the highlands, I might read 38 psi at sea level, deceiving drivers into believing it is overinflated. Imagine now descending again without making any adjustments. That will lead to uneven wear and sidewall tension. Goodyear engineers offer expert advice. Whenever feasible, check your tire pressure at the same altitude, temperature, and circumstances. Recheck your PSI at your destination if you're traveling long distances or through elevation changes, especially if you're traveling by car. There is no static in your tires. As the weather changes, they expand and breathe. Ignoring that is equivalent to taking your blood pressure once and making assumptions. It won't ever alter. Number 8. Skipping TPMS recalibration after airfill. TPMS tire pressure. Monitoring systems are standard on modern vehicles. Can alert you when your tires are low. Here's the issue though. The majority of drivers don't recalibrate the system after filling their tires. When you do that, your TPMS may not notify you at all the next time a tire truly deflates, since it still believes the previous pressures are accurate. More than 35% of TPMS-related incidents, according to NHTSA statistics, were as a result of the system not being reset following servicing or airfill. Here's how to do it correctly. Turn on the ignition after filling your tires, but do not start the engine. To choose TPMS, reset, or relearn, use the infotainment menu or dashboard settings. Hold it until the system verifies. After then, drive for 5 to 10 minutes at a speed higher than 25 miles per hour so that the pressure can be remeasured in real time. You can manually initiate a recalibration by driving in a straight line for 10 to 15 minutes if your automobile does not have an auto reset capability. This one action can prevent quiet blowouts and guarantee that your warning system remains accurate. Number 9. Ignoring the spare tire. This is one of the most embarrassing and often ignored tire errors. You have all 4 of your primary tires perfectly filled, but you have forgotten your spare. Ask for help if you need it. Driver, the customer finds out their spare tire is flat in 80% of flat tire calls. 2. Like all tires, spare tires lose air over time, roughly 1 pound per square inch per month. It is therefore likely 10 to 15 PS, low to be usable if you haven't examined it in a year. You have all 4 of your primary tires perfectly filled, but you have forgotten your spare. Number 10. Mixing up PSI front and rear. Even many tire stores miss this subtlety. On front heavy vehicles such as SUVs, lorries, or automobiles with big engines, the front and rear tire pressures are not usually the same. For this reason, your door label may read something like front 36 PSI, rear 33 PSI. Your handling balance is altered if you fill all 4 to the same amount. You'll notice uneven wear across tread patterns and understeer in corners, and possibly decreased stability when braking in rainy conditions. Expert mechanics adhere to the load specifications provided by the manufacturer, which are put to the test in actual situations. These are not recommendations. They are adjusted to correspond with tire temperature distribution, suspension geometry, and BS calibration. Therefore, before filling up, always check the owner's handbook or the door jamb label on your automobile. There is no one number that works for everyone. Number 11. Filling your tires too fast, and why it matters. This is the last mistake, and the most dangerous because it's nearly invisible. Many drivers unknowingly damage their tires by filling them too quickly, using high-pressure commercial air pumps at petrol stations. These machines often deliver over 100 psi into the hose. If your tire is filled rapidly from nearly flat to full, that sudden blast of fast-moving air can overheat the valve core, create micro-tears in the sidewall ply layers, or damage the internal bead seating. You won't see this damage, but it permanently weakens the tire's structure. That's why race teams and precision garages use low-pressure inflators with controlled airflow. They may feel slower, but they're far safer. As a general rule, if your tire goes from flat to full in less than 15 seconds, air was added too quickly. Your tires and your safety deserve a slow, steady fill. This eliminates condensation and balances internal pressure. In a nutshell, inflate and bursts add air, spurts of 2 to 3 seconds. Between each fill, give the pressure time to stabilize. Double check. Once the goal PSI has been reached, wait 30 seconds before checking that the air density is equal. Spinning the tire is optional throughout such period. After filling, slowly rotate the tire by hand if you have a jack. Why so exact? Because tires heat unevenly and stretch microscopically when under pressure. You may avoid thermal hotspots and make sure that the load is distributed equally throughout the tire by filling it gradually. At Peli F1 teams and Michelin Motorsport, this procedure is regular procedure. This explains why their tires perform more consistently under pressure, run cooler, and last longer. Use a digital gauge to check the cold tire pressure. PSI should be adjusted for altitude, load, and weather. Look for bulges, cracks, or nails. Tighten the cores and inspect the valve caps. If necessary, recalibrate TPMS. Check the variances in front and rear PSI. Keep a journal or use an app to record your readings. Because tire health equals driver safety section 4, the truth, this 10-minute habit can save you hundreds of dollars in fuel, thousands of dollars in tire wear, and possibly your life. Every safety system starts with your tires. This is what most people overlook. The only portion of your car that comes into contact with the road is your tires. Your tires are essential to the operation of every sophisticated technology, including airbags, stability systems, traction control, and BS. Nothing matters if your tires fail. All that engineering can be undone by one bad inflation habit, but one clever routine like the one you've learnt today may double the life of your tires and ensure your family's safety on every journey. The next time you visit the air pump, keep in mind that it's more than just adding air. It's about breathing life into your vehicle. It must protect you. If this video helped you, hit the like button so more drivers can stay safe.